A very good evening to all. It's time for Children's Bedtime Treasury with Let Emotion Speak. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to my channel for more amazing stories each night. Today's story is about an elephant. Jimbo comes home. Jimbo, the circus elephant, was snoring away in his cage one night when he heard a strange noise. At first, he thought it was part of his dream. In his dream, he was walking across a hot, dusty plain while in the distance there was the sound of thunder. All at once, Jimbo was wide awake. He realized that he was in his cage after all, and that what he thought was the sound of thunder was the noise of his cage on the move. Now this worried him, because the circus never moved at night. He rose to his feet and looked around. He could see some men pulling on the tow bar at the front of the cage. These were strangers. It certainly wasn't Carlos, his trainer. Jimbo started to bellow, "Help! Stop! Thief!" But it was too late. His cage was already rumbling out of the circus ground and down the road. Eventually, the cage passed through the gate marked Zipper's Circus, and Jimbo knew what had happened. He had been stolen by the Zipper family, his own circus family's greatest rivals. Jimbo was furious. How had the thieves got away with it? Surely someone at Ronaldo's circus must have heard them stealing him. But Jimbo waited in vain to be rescued. The next morning, the thieves opened up Jimbo's cage and tried to coax him out, but he stayed put. In the end, after much struggling, they managed to pull him out. Once he was out of his cage, he took the biggest drink of water he could from a bucket and soaked his new keeper. He refused to cooperate, kicked over his food, and when he appeared in the circus that night, he made sure he got all the tricks wrong. "Don't worry," said Mr. Zipper to Jimbo's new trainer. "He'll just take a while to settle down. Soon he'll forget that he was once part of Ronaldo's circus." But Jimbo didn't forget, for, as you know, an elephant never forgets. The other animals in Zipper's circus had all been stolen from other circuses too. "You'll just have to wait to get used to here," said one of the chimps to Jumbo. "It's not so bad really." But Jimbo decided he was going to try and escape. One night, a mouse passed by his cage. "Hello," called Jimbo mournfully, for by now he was feeling very lonely and no one had cleaned his cage out for days. "Hello," said the mouse. "You don't look very happy. What's the matter?" Jimbo explained how he had been stolen and wanted to escape back to his own circus. The mouse listened and then said, "I'll try to help." So saying, he scampered off and soon he was back with a bunch of keys. Jimbo was astonished. "Easy," said the mouse. "The keeper was asleep, so I helped myself." Jimbo took the keys in his trunk and unlocked the door to the cage. He was free. "Thank you," he called to the mouse, who was already scurrying away. Jimbo's first thought was to get back to his own circus as fast as possible. However, he wanted to teach those thieves a lesson. He could hear them snoring in their caravan. He tiptoed up as quietly as an elephant can tiptoe and slid into the horse's harness at the front. "Hey, what do you think you are doing?" neighed one of the horses. But Jimbo was already hauling the robber's caravan out of the gate and down the road. So gently did he pull the caravan that the thieves never once woke up. Eventually they reached Ronaldo's circus. Mr. Ronaldo was dumbstruck to see Jimbo pulling a caravan just like a horse. Mr. Ronaldo walked over to the caravan and was astonished to see the robbers still fast asleep. He raced to the telephone and called the police, and it wasn't until they heard the police siren that the robbers woke up. But then it was too late. As they emerged from the caravan scratching and shaking their heads, they were arrested on the spot and taken off to jail. There are a few questions we would like to ask Mr. Zipper regarding the theft of some other circus animals too, said one of the police officers. Mr. Ronaldo and Jimbo's keeper, Carlos, were both delighted to see Jimbo back home again. And Jimbo was just as delighted to be back home. Then Mr. Ronaldo and Carlos started whispering to each other and began walking away looking secretive. "We'll be back soon, we promise," they said to Jimbo. When they returned, they were pushing Jimbo's old cage. It had been freshly painted. There was clean, sweet-smelling straw inside. But best of all, there was no lock on the door. "Now you can come and go as you please," said Carlos. And Jimbo trumpeted, long and loud with his trunk held high, which Carlos knew was his way of saying thank you. I'm sure you enjoyed this story, Jimbo and his escape back to home. See you tomorrow with another great bedtime story. Good night.